Today, brothers, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to become overpowered in Where Winds Meet. From how to do the massive Buddha slap, makes enemies cease from existence, to how to get top on the DPS charts and almost make 600,000 damage in the raid. Let's start off with our Mystics Arts, as these got a massive change. Click into development, and here we'll be looking at beautiful skills. But which ones should we prioritize? Drunken Poet and Dragon's Breath are just the best combination right now for both PvP and PvE. They just do so much damage. Afterwards, Guardian Palm to nuke enemies from this plane of existence. And finally, Soaring Spin is looking to be phenomenal, especially with the level 3 breakthrough. Let's break them down one by one so you know exactly how to do them. For starters, for the Buddha clap, you need to jump 3 times while you're up in the air, hit 1 to dash down, then this will unlock your Guardian Palm. Click it and you'll get the animation. We can flatten the enemies into pancakes. For Soaring Spin, the big change is that you can now animation cancel this, as normally it has 2 animations, one at the start, one at the end. But the beauty, well, is now you can just walk out of it, allowing you to combo extremely well in both PvP and in PvE, giving you top damage. Then finally, the most broken combo in the entire game, Poet and Breath. First, always start the engagement by drinking Poet. Then you want to proc fire, then cancel the animation by parrying, like so, for tick. Afterwards, you can go back into Poet here and just one-shot your foe. Pretty easy, ain't it? You now have abilities for bosses, groups of mobs, and players. You're kind of like a Swiss Army knife, a jack of all trades. With mystic skills out of the way, let's break down our next new system, Divine Craft. Here, we'll learn how to become even more broken. You have fire, water, poison. Fire is just, in my opinion, best in slot for doing raids and dungeons, as this just gives you more damage than the other two. When you acquire this perk, consecutive attacks will trigger an additional explosion. The reason why water is not so strong is because the perk here only increases the interruption resistance during this effect, and that doesn't help us, well, kill enemies. Poison is nice because what poison does is this increases our damage towards the chi bar. Chi bar is the stamina bar for you and bosses, allowing you to break them much faster. But another broken passive of poison, you'll deal an extra execution while parrying them while this effect is active, meaning triple the damage equals triple the pain and triple the trauma. With Divine out of the way, let's talk about how to increase our mastery, and there is a lot of things, and this is a major contender in becoming overpowered. But before we get into that, that's how we can get these items for our Divine Crafts. Open up your map by hitting M, and on the right hand side you'll see this little flower. Here, I've already clicked all the 3 flowers we will need for each one. Buddha tier is for fire, Vicious Flower is for poison, and Beauty, well, that's for water. I recommend farming Beauty Garment in the north here, left flank here for Vicious, and down here for, well, Pyromaniacs. The reason why we farm these, by the way, is simple. We acquire a Buddha tier root. These are used in upgrading our mystic skills, and we're not Jeff Bezos, so we need as many of these as we can get. By the way, bonus tip, while gathering these, click into your bag and it's time to eat some food. This will increase our luck while gathering items, giving us a higher chance to get those rare materials. Now let's talk about how to increase our mastery. Enhance is the first thing you want to do. Make sure your weapons are level first, then jewelry, and then lastly, armor. These will require materials and a lot of them. So before we fall behind, let me show you how to acquire them efficiently. You'll have many vendors scattered around the map. The peddler at Heaven's Pier, the general good vendor over here, and then finally in Kaifeng you'll have 2 more. Another general goods vendor. Here we're looking to buy coarse fur and raw ore. Extremely powerful. Afterwards, come to this guy in Kaifeng. He will sell you the Dushan Jade, another top tier material that we will need in order to upgrade our enhancement. Plus, he sells fire arrows, and we are pyromaniacs. By the way, also come to my man Wang's Woodcraft, WW for short. This guy sells us 2 more important materials: ebony iron and oscillating jade. Nice. Now we have more loot than a squirrel for winter. We're stocked up. Once again, hidden, click into your arsenal. Here, you want to max this out as high as possible. Even though your min and max attack no longer increase after the 1000 threshold, you still want to go higher for the extra max XP and the extra mastery it will give you. How do you do this? Just by having high level purple gear that has decent points on them is always nice. And if you can, purple bow and purple earring to increase your mastery further. They should always be tuned to the max, as we no longer need those specific resources anymore, so we might as well upgrade them. Once our arsenal is maxed out, it's time to look at our own gear. Yes, believe it or not, we need to level up our own stuff. This is extremely important. Let me break it down so you don't waste material, energy, and fall really far behind. 1. If you see an item that's about 140 mastery, just level it up. That's pretty good, especially if it has a nice perk on it. So this spear at 134 is looking quite promising. But make sure it has the set that you want for your current build. That's the reason why I didn't level up the spear. It's on the wrong set. F's in the chat. Now, once you tune your items, you click tune and you'll eventually reach the final point. Here, you can wait until you know exactly what sets you want before you use your attunement stone, as these are much harder to acquire. For the pieces of gear, we know we're going to be keeping until the next breakthrough in 10 days. Now that we know how to get gear, where can we farm this efficiently to not farm behind? Well, there's a few different areas: challenges, hero realm, and sword trials. Let's break them down. Campaign challenges is the best if you just don't have to deal with players, but it's not the most efficient. By the way, if you're confused on how to get greaves, they can drop for Tian Ying, as this had me banging my head against the wall and I want to ease your pain. The rest of our gear, if you can, farm it in the Fire of Blood, as you're able to get 6 crates here that all drop in purple guaranteed, which means better loot, better gear, less time farming. That's a win-win. But once you've acquired your gear, what should we be doing with our remaining energy? You should be doing your joint battles to farm stones. You will need a lot of ebony iron. Therefore, this is hands down the best way to farm it, so you're not stuck in the field all day picking corn until you get that farmer's tan. Plus, they give you innerway note chests, which are... Finally, make sure you do the raid. You'll have your weekly raid bonus. This costs no energy, so you might as well just do this. It's free, and you get 10 boxes. Afterwards, I believe if you can still do the raid, but then it will cost energy to open up the boxes. So if you enjoy the raid, do that. But otherwise, stick to the Fire of Blood, as it's just the overall best way to get your chests. But something the Hero Realm does give you is a guaranteed attunement stone. So if you're looking to max out your gear, this is the way to do so. Now that we have all of this out of the way, how else can we get materials to further our power? Season shop here. Make sure you always buy your notes, jades, everything you need, and your career notebooks. These are extremely important. Do not sleep on these. You'll regret it later. But something you will not have is enough fish to buy everything. Therefore, I recommend dropping the martial art tips, as this isn't mandatory if you are only playing one build. But something you should be doing while leveling is keeping your weapons at 60. This is very important, not only for the mastery increase, but the breakthrough upgrades we get that are game changing. If you're not leveling up your weapons all the way, you are playing the game wrong. Now let's talk about talents so we can truly understand how to get top damage in each raid. While our mastery will be going up like the stock market through the roof, we'll be unlocking. These talents are mandatory to be on our A game. Pick up physical attack, min attack. To be honest, just take it all, bro. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and the talents, they're the food. The only thing you can't grab will be surging, as you do need 50k HP, and your boy ain't a tank, so I don't got it. but always focus on these passes right here, the more shiny ones, as they're just more stat dense, as they give you max HP and more damage. Something that is completely game changing is the boss tree. This is where a lot of new players and casual players will make a mistake. Before you enter into any raid or dungeon, come to this page. It is mandatory. Why? Because when I click on this, well, my damage is going to be going through the roof, and I finally can show kids why I'm better than them by reading a description. If I defeat Lucky 17 in Ocean of Vengeance, in a team, I have to catch all the toss players. That's a little mini game, but hey, that gives me 10% damage every time I complete it, all the way up to 30. Now that is a combo I can get behind. Meaning if you're ever wondering why players are just doing more damage than you are, this could be a very good reason. As at the max, 30%, that's a lot of extra damage. Same with something like the Sleeping Taoist. Here, now you have to catch 2 falling teammates while transformed into a donkey. Now, I'm already a donkey in real life, so I don't know why I have to transform. You never knew that? Well, now you do. And now you can increase your damage by 30%, so you can thank me later, or by smashing that like button and subscribing, as this is just the biggest damage increase you can make in the entire game. Literally nothing is better than this. Even your gear, it just won't match these passives, so doing these are mandatory. Something you also should be doing that is mandatory is coming to Kai Feng, to the Melodies of Peace. Here, our main man will be sitting here waiting for us to give him a nice handshake. Load him up, and here you'll be given all these new passives since we hit the breakthrough. Follow the main path just like I did. It's hands down the most important thing to do. Afterwards, you can get these other back passives if you really want, but if you don't have a lot of oddities like myself, I would highly recommend hoarding these like Scrooge McDuck for the next breakthrough, as these are going to cost a lot. 9 oddities? Bro, just rob a bank at this point. We're in poverty. These are troubling times. But hey, if you're new here, smash the like button, subscribe, check out this other video if you want more tips and tricks. And I hope you found this video helpful. Peace.